Mark, do you have a few minutes? I know it is very late on a Friday, and I promise I will not keep you long.
Anna, hi. Of course. I am just finishing up a few emails, but I have time. It is late. I did not realize we were the only two left in the office.
It seems so. I am sorry to keep you, but before we both leave for the weekend, I was hoping we could quickly plan the project team meeting for next week. If we do it now, we can start fresh on Monday.
That is a very smart idea. I agree. If we leave it until Monday morning, it will be too rushed. Yes, let's plan it now.
Thank you. I appreciate you staying a few extra minutes. As you know, this weekly meeting is very important to keep our project on track.
It is. So, what is the first step? Where do we begin?
The first and most important step in planning any meeting is to define its purpose. We should never have a meeting just for the sake of having a meeting. We need a clear goal.
A clear goal. Okay. So, what is the main goal for this weekly meeting?
The main goal is to review the team's progress on the Aurora project from the past week and to plan our tasks for the week ahead. It is our main weekly check-in. We are making excellent progress. We have a time, a place, an agenda, and a list of attendees. Now, we need to think about the meeting itself and the roles people will play.
Roles? I thought we were all just participants.
In a well-run meeting, it is helpful to assign a couple of specific roles to keep things organized. As the person who called the meeting, I will act as the facilitator or the chairperson.
What does the facilitator do?
My job is to lead the meeting. I will make sure we start and finish on time. I will guide the team through each item on the agenda, and I will make sure that everyone has a chance to speak. My role is to keep the conversation focused and productive.
I see. That is a very important role. Are there any other roles?
Yes, one other very important role is the note-taker or the scribe. This person is responsible for writing down the minutes of the meeting.
The minutes? You mean they write down everything that everyone says?
Not everything. The minutes are a summary of the most important points. The note-taker's main job is to write down any key decisions that are made and to create a clear list of the action items we agree on. I was wondering, Mark, if you would be willing to take on that role for this meeting.
Me? I would be happy to. It would be a great way for me to pay close attention to all the details of the project. So I just need to write down the key decisions and the action items.
Exactly. And after the meeting, you will just need to type up your notes into a clean document and email them to the rest of the team. It is a very important job as it creates a clear record of what we decided.
Now that we have our clear objectives, we can create the agenda. The agenda is a list of topics that we will discuss during the meeting.
And a good agenda is important to keep the meeting on track and to make sure we do not waste time, right?
Precisely. A meeting without an agenda can easily go off topic. I think we should also assign a specific amount of time for each item on the agenda. This will help us to finish the meeting on time.
That is a great idea. So, how long should the meeting be in total?
I think we can achieve all of our objectives in 50 minutes if we are focused. So let's plan a 50-minute meeting.
Okay. What is the first item on the agenda?
The first item should always be a quick welcome and a review of the agenda. I will lead that, and it should only take about 5 minutes. The second item will be our first objective, the individual status updates. We have 5 team members, so if we give each person 3 minutes, that will be 15 minutes in total.
That sounds fair. The third item will be the discussion of any blockers or problems. How much time should we allow for that?
That is the most unpredictable part. I think we should schedule 15 minutes for that as well. It is important to have enough time for discussion. Then, the fourth item will be planning the next steps, which should take about 10 minutes.
And the last 5 minutes?
The last 5 minutes will be for the final item, a quick summary of the action items. Action items are the specific tasks that we have assigned to people. We will quickly review who is responsible for what.
That agenda looks perfect. It is clear, logical, and the timings seem realistic. So the next question is, who needs to attend this meeting?
Good question. We need a list of attendees. For this weekly check-in, I think we only need the core project team. That is you, me, David, Sarah, and Thomas.
The 5 of us. That makes sense. We are the ones working on the project every day. Keeping the meeting small will make it more efficient.
I agree. However, I was thinking about the problem that Sarah is having with the new logo design. She mentioned that she needs some feedback from the brand strategy department.
Yes, she did. She is a bit stuck on the color palette. She is not sure if it aligns with the new brand guidelines.
Exactly. So perhaps for this one meeting, it would be a good idea to invite someone from that department. Maybe their team leader, Julia?
That is a really smart idea. If Julia is in the meeting, she can give Sarah immediate feedback. It would solve that blocker very quickly and save Sarah a lot of time.
My thoughts exactly. It is not always a good idea to invite guests to a regular team meeting, as it can sometimes slow things down. But in this case, for this specific agenda point, I think it is very strategic.
I agree. So the list of attendees will be the 5 of us, plus Julia from the brand strategy department as an optional guest for the first part of the meeting.
Okay, our plan is coming together nicely. We have the goal, the agenda, and the list of attendees. Now we need to schedule the meeting. We need to find a day and a time that works for everyone.
That is always the hardest part, isn't it? Trying to find a time when 6 busy people are all free.
It can be, but luckily, our company uses a shared digital calendar. I can look at everyone's schedule online to find a time when we are all available. I will just open the calendar now.
That is a very useful tool. So you can see everyone's appointments and meetings?
Yes, I can see when people are marked as busy or free. It makes scheduling much easier. Okay, I am looking at next week's calendar now for all 6 people.
When do you think is the best time to have a team meeting? Are some days better than others?
That is a good question to consider. I personally try to avoid scheduling important team meetings for Monday mornings. People are often very busy catching up on emails after the weekend.
That makes sense. And I guess Friday afternoon is probably a bad time too, because everyone is tired and thinking about the weekend.
You are absolutely right. I find that Tuesday or Wednesday mornings are often the best time for productive team meetings. People are fresh and focused. Let's look at Tuesday morning. I see a perfect slot. It looks like everyone is free on Tuesday from 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock.
Tuesday at 10 a.m. That sounds perfect. It gives everyone time to check their emails in the morning, and it is before lunch when people start to get hungry and lose focus.
My thoughts exactly. So we will schedule the meeting for Tuesday at 10 a.m. Now that we have a time, we need to book a place. We need to reserve a meeting room.
How do we do that? Do we have to walk around the office and see which rooms are empty?
We do not. We can do that from the calendar system as well. It is a very clever system. I can see a list of all the meeting rooms in the company, and I can see which ones are available at that time.
That is so efficient. So, what do we need to look for in a meeting room?
Well, we have 6 attendees, so we need a room that can comfortably seat at least 6 people. We also need a room with the right equipment.
What kind of equipment do we need for this meeting?
I think we will need a large screen or a projector. David will probably want to show his latest social media analytics on the screen. And it is always useful to have a whiteboard for brainstorming and writing down ideas.
A big screen and a whiteboard. Got it. Can you see which rooms have those?
I can. I am filtering the list of available rooms now. Okay, it looks like meeting room 3 on the second floor is available at that time. It has a large digital screen, a whiteboard, and a table that seats 8 people. It is the perfect room for us.
Fantastic. So you can book it right now from your computer.
I can. I am just clicking reserve, and there. Meeting room 3 is now booked for our team for next Tuesday at 10 a.m. We are making excellent progress. We have a time, a place, an agenda, and a list of attendees. Now we need to think about the meeting itself and the roles people will play.
Roles? I thought we were all just participants.
In a well-run meeting, it is helpful to assign a couple of specific roles to keep things organized. As the person who called the meeting, I will act as the facilitator or the chairperson.
What does the facilitator do?
My job is to lead the meeting. I will make sure we start and finish on time. I will guide the team through each item on the agenda, and I will make sure that everyone has a chance to speak. My role is to keep the conversation focused and productive.
I see. That is a very important role. Are there any other roles?
Yes. One other very important role is the note taker or the scribe. This person is responsible for writing down the minutes of the meeting.
The minutes? You mean they write down everything that everyone says?
Not everything. The minutes are a summary of the most important points. The note-taker's main job is to write down any key decisions that are made and to create a clear list of the action items we agree on. I was wondering, Mark, if you would be willing to take on that role for this meeting.
Me? I would be happy to. It would be a great way for me to pay close attention to all the details of the project. So I just need to write down the key decisions and the action items.
Exactly. And after the meeting, you will just need to type up your notes into a clean document and email them to the rest of the team. It is a very important job as it creates a clear record of what we decided. Thank you for agreeing to be the note taker, Mark. I really appreciate it. The final step of our planning process is to send out the official meeting invitation.
So we need to write an email to everyone on the attendee list?
We do it directly through the calendar system. When I create the event in the calendar, I can add all the attendees. The system will then send an automatic invitation to everyone's email.
That is very clever. What information should we include in the invitation?
A good meeting invitation is very important. It helps people to prepare for the meeting properly. First, we need a very clear subject line, something like Aurora Project Weekly Team Check-in.
That is clear and professional. What else goes in the invitation?
The invitation will automatically include the list of attendees, the date, the time, and the location, which is Meeting Room 3. But the most important thing to include is the agenda that we created.
So people will know exactly what topics we are going to discuss and in what order.
Precisely. And for each agenda point, we should write a short sentence to explain the goal. For example, for status updates, we can write, "Please be prepared to give a 3-minute summary of your progress this week."
That is very helpful. It tells people exactly what is expected of them so they can prepare in advance.
That is the goal. A well-prepared team leads to a productive meeting. We should also attach any documents that people need to read before the meeting. For this meeting, I will attach the latest sales report.
This is the most thorough meeting plan I have ever been a part of. I am learning so much. I usually just get a vague invitation that says meeting, and I have no idea what it is about.
I believe that good planning is the key to a good meeting. If you plan it well, the meeting itself will run smoothly and will be a good use of everyone's time. Nobody likes a meeting that feels like a waste of time.
That is so true. Do you have any other tips for making our team meetings more effective? Any general rules that we should follow?
I do. I like to establish a few simple ground rules for our meetings. They are just a set of expectations for how we should behave.
What are the ground rules?
The first one is to always start and finish on time. This shows respect for everyone's schedule. If the meeting is scheduled to start at 10 a.m., we start at 10 a.m., even if one person is late.
I like that rule. It is very professional.
The second rule is to stick to the agenda. If someone brings up an interesting but unrelated topic, I, as the facilitator, will politely say, "That is a great point. Let's discuss that offline after the meeting." This keeps us focused.
Stick to the agenda. That is a good discipline to have.
The third rule is a no devices rule. Unless we are using them for the meeting, we ask everyone to put their laptops and phones away. This ensures that everyone is present and engaged, and not secretly checking their emails.
That is a very important one in today's world. It is all about being present.
Exactly. And the final, most important ground rule is to encourage open and respectful communication. Everyone should have a chance to speak, and we should listen actively to each other's ideas, even if we do not agree with them.
That is the foundation of good teamwork. It sounds like you have created a very positive and productive meeting culture.
That is the goal, and I think that concludes our planning session. Let's do a final review. We have a clear goal and objectives. We have a timed agenda. We have our list of attendees. We have a time and a room booked. We have assigned roles. And we have a plan for the invitation.
We have thought of everything. I feel very confident that this is going to be a great meeting. I am actually looking forward to it now.
I am too. Thank you so much for your help and your input, Mark. It is always better to plan these things together.
It was my pleasure. I learned so much. Thank you for taking the time to explain your process to me.
Anytime. Well, I think we have earned our weekend now. We can both leave the office knowing that we are perfectly prepared for next week.
I agree. Thank you again, Anna. Have a wonderful and relaxing weekend.
You too, Mark. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.